Tuscany Hall, and we have a 10-round bout, an IBF International Super Welterweight title, Orlando Fiordigiglio, who's fighting Birmingham's Sam the Savage Eggington. And again, this is engaging on so many levels because the winner tonight really does reignite the career. The loser, well, it's a snakes and ladders scenario, and they do drop down the boxing food chain somewhat. Now, Fiordigiglio, we've seen, of course, on many occasions, his last fight in beating Stephen Danyo, the Dutchman, who spent so much time in Manchester in the UK. He won via split decision, but he's 35, still feels that he can mix it. He's been European and a WBC international champion, but he's twice failed to land the full European title. Tough circumstances, but what is left for him? Now, Sam Eggington, still just 25 years of age. He's had 32 fights as a professional. Only started boxing, wanted to be a journeyman, didn't really believe he had any talent, just thought it was a good way of earning money. Until John Pegg, his trainer, said, hang on, there's more to you than you realise, and he turned him into a proper fighter and a man that went on to win belts and prove everybody wrong. Former European, British, Commonwealth, welterweight champion, but just couldn't make the weight anymore. It was a massive struggle. He retired, Paulie Malignaggi, who, of course, a two-time world champion himself. He's had great successes, and again, such an unassuming character. Had a couple of tick-over fights, beat the German Lewis van Pooch last time out. But if he can be the away fighter and cause an upset, as we've just seen, then again,
Isn't it amazing as well that Sam Eggington is 25 years old? It seems like he's been around forever, doesn't it, really? Forever. And, you know, and he's still here. And he possibly has a very, very long career ahead of him. And it's remarkable when you think about it like that. And, you know, when you think about his opportunity here against Fiordigiglio in Italy, it really is quite a big step, but one that I feel that Sam Eggington can make. And I think that the quality doesn't just disappear over a period of time. He's had a couple of sharpening fights. He's not had as much difficulty making the weight. And a couple of my friends in Birmingham have said that apparently he's looking very, very good at camp. So I'm really hoping to see the best of Sam Eggington tonight. And hopefully he's back to his absolute best.
Well, he has been operating as a super welterweight for a little while now, but no shame in losing emphatically as he did to Liam Smith, who's operating on a different level, you know, was a world champion and still believes he can be again. Now, I don't think Sam believes he can get to that elite level, but what he can do, he can have some big fights, you know, at the top end of the welterweight scale. Here's our MC, David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that if you are able to please rise and remove your hats as we honor both challenger and champion with the respective national anthems. First, the national anthem of the United Kingdom, God Italia. now, ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday night and we're ready to fight. Let's introduce the fighters as they make their way to the ring. Please welcome the challenger, Sam the Savage Eggington.
Sam the Savage Eggington. Is there another chapter to this very engaging fella's career? Couldn't meet a nicer lad. He's got a little bit of support in the arena.
And now, making his way to the ring, please welcome the defending champion, Orlando Fiordigiglio.
So here he is, very much the home man from Arezzo, Orlando Fiordigiglio. Thunder. Again, what does that make you think of, Alex? Every time.
I think we spoke about it last week, but I guess we were probably a little bit delirious at 4:30 in the morning, Don. Yeah, the song should not belong to anyone else.
Should have been retired.
Retired song.
Signore e signori, buonasera e benvenuti a Firenze, Italia, per l'incontro principale della serata. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Florence, Italy, live on DAZN and Sky Sports for the main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled for the IBF International Super Welterweight Championship. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing Italy and Signore Salvatore Cherchi's OPI since '82. We are sponsored by JD Sports. This bout is sanctioned under the auspices of the International Boxing Federation. The president is Daryl J. Peoples. The supervisor is Roberto Rea. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this contest from ringside. From the United Kingdom, Steve Gray. From Italy, Matteo Montella, and also from Italy, Paolo Ruggeri. At the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring, referee from France, Amar Sakraoui. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the 4 corners of the world to the 4 corners of this ring, right here in Florence, Italy, this is it. The time has come. The fight starts now! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, the challenger. He wears the white with red and green trim. He scaled 69.5 kilos. His professional record, 26 wins, 6 defeats. He has 15 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former Midlands area, Commonwealth, British, European, and WBC International Champion, fighting out of Birmingham, England, Sam the Savage Eggington. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He wears black with gold trim. He is the defending titleist. He scaled 69.4 kilos. His professional record, 31 victories, 2 defeats. He has 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked number 5 in the world by the IBF, originally from Torre del Greco, and now living and fighting out of Arezzo, Toscana, Italia. Here is the reigning and defending IBF IBF International Super Welterweight Champion, Orlando Fiordigiglio. Fiordigiglio.
So listen, I need the blue flag. Follow my command all the time, okay? Good luck. Touch your gloves. Thank you.
So on with our main event, and great support for, as you would imagine, the man from Italy, Fiordigiglio, against Sam Eggington, who's brought a little band of hardy supporters from Birmingham as well. So great atmosphere for this 10 scheduled rounds to the IBF International Super Welterweight title. It's the first defense of that belt for Fiordigiglio. The belt he picked up in beating Stephen Dagno here back in April. Well, Eggington, a couple of tick-over fights since the stoppage defeat to Liam Smith back in March. Now settled into the super welterweight division after campaigning for so long at welterweight. A task making that weight that was far too much for him. He's a huge man at welterweight.
Massive. He always looked awful at the weigh-in. He actually always looked awful by the time he got in the ring. He didn't look like he'd recovered on half the time at all. Poor Sam.
Well, he has that pasty complexion, and he always looked a little gaunt and pasty anyway.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Making weight was a real drain. But even now, there's, you know, it's not like he's carrying anything at super welterweight. He
certainly isn't. Tall, very lean lad, isn't he? Big fan of his style. Very, very good to watch. Very exciting fighter.
He's on the front foot in the opening round here. Certainly making Fiordigiglio think.
What he does want to watch on occasion, Sam Eggington, when he lets his hands go, he starts punching in combination. He's very, very impressive. And he always had that huge advantage of most of the people he put under pressure would be shorter than him. And it's an awful thing being put under consistent pressure by a tall fighter, because you basically need to punch up to keep him off you. And it's immensely difficult. And Sam Eggington isn't the kind of guy that you very often see going backwards. Very, very aggressive combination puncher, looks to break his opponents down with raw aggression and body punching. So good variety of punch as well. He's actually a lot more thoughtful than what people give him credit for as well. He's quite an intelligent fighter. Sometimes he would fall into a habit of perhaps not thinking about what was coming back all the time, because he would be so focused on going forward and exciting the fans and scoring numerous punches and looking for knockouts that he would forget on occasion what was coming back. But there's been times I've seen Sam Eggington make fighters miss and look very, very slick and skillful while putting pressure on them and making them miss. Fiordigiglio coming back at Sam Eggington, normally with a single shot, as Sam finishes up his attacks. So Sam Eggington really has to be ready for the rest of this fight to attack Fiordigiglio after he's finished his major attacks. Fiordigiglio will come back at him, normally with one shot. Sam Eggington has to use a second phase and get back on top of him again to keep him under pressure.
Some good combinations from Eggington in that opening round, and it's his first fight outside the UK. He's had one fight in Ireland as well, and he's marking the occasion wearing the Italian colours. Nice touch from Eggington. His career just derailed a little bit. He had that shocking defeat to Hassan Maquinho last September, when he knew that 2 weeks after that he'd be fighting Brandon Rios on a Anthony Joshua undercard, and it obviously subconsciously switched him right off on the night, and he didn't perform. It was an absolute stink of a performance, and his big chance was gone, so he's had to rebuild slightly, and he's taken the blip with Liam Smith. He's now back on the bus, if you like, and just seeing what can happen now in this next chapter of his career. But of course, Orlando Fiordigiglio has all his own ambitions as well. He's ranked number 5 with the IBF. This is a real opportunity for him if he
certainly, of course, Dom,
takes the scalp from Eggington. We're looking at world title shots on the horizon. And that really is the carrot for both these fighters tonight.
Of course it is, yeah. And both guys know this as well. They know what winning this fight is going to mean. Well-timed right-hand counter from Sam Eggington there.
Fiordigiglio's catching him with a jab.
Yeah, very busy with the jab, isn't he? Nothing coming up behind that jab, though. He'll look for one counter punch, Fiordigiglio. And reminiscent to most Italian fighters, when things come on top a little bit too much, they hold. They hold. And they grab and they spoil. Very good, effective punching from Sam Eggington there.
Well, he went from head to body supremely well.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Dom. He'll do things like that. He'll slip a punch and he'll come back with 2 shots, then he'll roll off the counter, and it's just so impressive to watch. But sometimes he just literally forgets to do these kind of things because he's so intent on pressurising his opponent and looking aggressive and exciting the fans and trying to break his opponent down, that he forgets that his opponent also has hands, and that sometimes they will come back to you. He's actually got a reasonably good jab as well, Sam, that he doesn't use, for me, often enough. He could use his jab a lot more. It will set up a lot more attacks for him, and it'll also give him a really good yardstick to where his opposition is. There you go, just a little touch with the jab, a little poke with the jab, set up a right hand like that. You know, it's very, very basic. At the same time, very, very effective.
Well, Fiordigiglio's in trouble
badly
here.
Hurt, yeah. Sam Eggington doing the right thing here.
Oh, he's caught again with the left, and he's all over the place, and he can end it here, Sam Eggington.
He
knows it. And the combinations, it's going to be all over in the second round.
Fantastic stuff.
Well, a couple of right hands set up the finish there, and Eggington did not let Fiordigiglio off the hook. He was ruthless and incessant there, and the finish was perfect. And really, well, Fiordigiglio was trying to hang on when he got caught up close with a couple of right hands. He just couldn't hold. Eggington was too clinical, and there's some complaints from the corner, I'm not quite sure, because all the referee did was save Fiordigiglio for an awful shellacking there, really, at the end of the second round, because he'd gone. He was all over the place, and Eggington, well, he was picking him off at will. And they're absolutely shell-shocked in the corner, and most of the arena, the Tuscany Hall, they're still now singing Fiordigiglio's name, but they did not expect that. That was explosive and impressive from Sam the Savage Eggington. Well, Alex, I can't really work out why they're so full of complaints. Here's the finish, and again, a big right hand from Eggington. Fiordigiglio's all over the place in the corner. Eggington pins him there. Big right hand again. He's holding on for dear life, but he can't quite keep Eggington off him. And he's just being bullied all over the place.
He sure is, and clubbed as well.
Big left hand then comes in, and I think the referee, Amar Sakurui from France, is spot on with the stoppage.
He could have jumped in a little bit sooner even, if I'm going to be really honest.
Well, as the hometown man who's holding the title and all these other kind of cliches and comments that you always hear, you know, because he'd give him every chance he can because it's so early on in the fight. But no, the referee cannot let that go on any further.
Sam Eggington would have kept those punches coming, Dom. You know as well as me that he would have let those hands flow, and they would have kept coming and coming and coming, and Fiordigiglio would have been knocked spark out. I think the referee's done a good job in stepping in there. Possibly could have stopped at a punch or two even before for me, and it wouldn't have been ruled ridiculous.
Well, we're talking about a guy here who's, if you go back in his career, the stoppage of Denton Vassell.
Yes.
A classy operator. Then you talk about Frankie Gavin.
Yeah, exactly.
Paulie Malignaggi.
One of the best, most gifted boxers I've ever been in a ring with in my life. I'd hired Frankie as my sparring partner on an occasion, and he was unbelievably talented.
And he's stopped these characters.
Yeah.
You know, so the Italian corner shouldn't be surprised that Eggington can do that, and particularly as he looks comfortable at the weight now and all the rest of it. I don't think they would have expected it to go so soon, but what a result for Sam.
Halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute and 30 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by TKO and the new IBF International Super Welterweight Champion from Birmingham, England, Sam the Savage Eggington.
Well, that smile says it all. And his crew from Birmingham, they'll have a good night in Florence. Well, just 2 defeats previously for Orlando Fiordigiglio, with just the 1 stoppage, and that's going back to 2015, Cedric V2 for the European title. So, a reasonable statement from Sam Eggington.